Morning, afternoon, or evening. It looks like you are opting to watch a video that comes in more than one part, probably because it was lengthy and we like to keep them kind of short so people don't have to sit too long. So this could be a two-parter, three-parter, or four-parter. I don't know which one you're looking at, but just wanted to let you know if you are on, say, part one and it has a part two, that part originally will come out on a date separate than part one. So just keep a lookout for the same title name where it says part two, part three, or part four, and you should find your way accordingly. I hope you enjoy and I hope it helps clear up some sort of concept that someone was asking about. I'll see you later. Bye-bye now. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. There was a request by somebody if I could do some sort of video explanation on filling out the function report, the SSA 3373, for someone who is like a mental health disability claim. List the places you go to on a regular basis. And they say, for example, church, community center, sports events, social groups. Obviously, if you're engaging in the fun things like sports events and social groups, you're not going to look so disabled and or anxious. Church might be something that someone does go to, but if you can motivate to get there on Sundays with the depression regularly, it might be inconsistent with saying before that you can't do things regularly because you're so unpredictably depressed. You could, however, if you go to church when able and say, I used to go to church every week. It was really important to me. And now sometimes I can't even get out of bed. It falls in the days that I've had these horrible days and I miss 3 out of 4 in the month or 2 out of 4, or now I only go once every 2 months, whatever the case may be. Document it so you know. Don't just guess. And don't avoid saying it if it's true because you feel like, you know, a bad worshiper. If you don't go, this is your chance to say that you haven't been able to go because of those debilitating depressive episodes. Then under the same question of 19 social activities and under C says, do you need to be reminded to go to places such as the ones you go to on a regular basis? You would answer that appropriately. It is a funny question they ask because they say, how often do you go? And how much do you take part? How much do you take part? I think the general answer is usually I participate as needed if it's like doctor's appointments, because that could be where you put, I go to my doctor's appointments regularly. I participate as needed, or I bring my wife with me because I know I'm going to forget and get tongue-tied or something in the appointment, and she can help make sure that he knows everything that we need for him to know. And again, there's another question here. You'll see it's kind of similar to one you answered before. Do you need someone to accompany you? Make sure your answer, you thought about it here and there, and the answers really obviously should be jiving. So make sure you cross-reference your answers where appropriate. Those are the things we look for when we're helping someone be accurate. D is, do you have any problems getting along with family, friends, neighbors, or others? Yes or no? Again, either depression or anxiety can definitely affect this. Sometimes people are very, very irritable with either condition, and people just don't like being around them, or they don't like being around other people. Other times, they're just, what do they call it? Sad Sam or whatever. Sometimes they are irritable and they lash out at people. Their irritation gets the better of them. They have a lower threshold of tolerance for the antics of others, and they will say something snooty, snippy, whatever, or get in a full-blown tirade. Those are really important things to share if that happens. I mean, when I have my pain people, sometimes it happens based on pain. Pain tends to bring depression and anxiety there too. But if any of that is going on, so even if you recluse, let's say you isolate yourself so that you don't have a problem getting along with people, that is because you have concerns that you do have problems getting along with people when these moods strike you. So I would be thinking long and hard about the yes answer and how to answer that. You could say, I'm not as pleasant as I used to be. Sometimes I'm a little rude because I'm just so depressed. So now I just don't go out and see these people because I really don't want to seem rude, but when I'm out, I just don't care what anybody thinks, and I don't play, you know? Well, you can answer that. I would think of those things when I'm answering 19D. E is describe any changes in social activity since the illness, injuries, or conditions began. Super, super, super important. Because if you were never a social person and you're not now, the effect on your life is not going to be so great. But usually, even a person who was never social to begin with, but wasn't, with severe clinical depression, they could at least activate when they had to. They might do it demurely. They might not be the life of the party, but they could. So do your best to explain, even if you're that kind of person, the difference now. The difference now is you can't even choose to do the social event potentially because you cannot motivate or get the energy to even lift a leg out of the bed. And by the way, speaking of that, sometimes people with severe depression, and again, the overlapping anxiety, depression, their body parts sometimes feel really heavy. Like their leg feels like it's moving underwater sometimes. So it can be physical. It can add to potentially a perception, at least, of grave physical muscular fatigue. So everybody's different, but just something for you to think about in case it does, okay? And of course, all these things that they do, you need to talk to your therapist and your PCP at the very least, because you need to have it documented in the medical records. It will then support this as not being just, ooh, your own statement made out of the blue. Okay, we're getting close, guys. This is 20A. This is the one that seems, well, at least half of them are very physical. So these, if you have no physical problems, um, these might not affect you. However, the physical part, that would be lifting, squatting, bending, standing, reaching, walking, sitting, kneeling, stair climbing. Okay, if that is the case, but you do get that feeling like you're moving underwater, so fatigued physically with your severely exhausting depression, here's where you could even just have a one-liner about the physical things, if it's the case. Because I always feel like I'm moving underwater and all the physical activities of lifting, squatting, bed just seem like so much extra effort. I feel like I'm doing it underwater or whatever your reality is, that might be a place where you could put it. But aside from that, the other items like memory, completing tasks, concentration, understanding, following instructions, using hands, and getting along with others, those things are, if they're not affected by severe depression, then you're probably not disabled from severe depression. Focus, concentration, getting things done, completing. That part is over. If you're looking for the following part, if there is one, or a preceding part to the same video that was longer, just look under the channel for the same title video. They are named the same and they just have part one, part two, part three, or whatever part it is. So feel free to take a look, see, and complete the video. Take care.